I was a councillor for 4 years, from 2008 to 2012 at MPPJ. Before that, I was a reporter for 9 years at the start. Now, I'm not a career politician. I don't know how to speak in public. I'm actually quite nervous now. But I'm here today anyway. Now, my opponents are basically also championing the same issues I'm championing. The first issue would, of course, be the conversion of leasehold to freehold. Rather than just talk about setting up task forces or research teams, I'm here to tell you that I've already done the research. And the only reason why I'm here is because when I presented this research to Tan Sri Khalid, he outright refused us. There were several other resident groups who also approached the Pakatan government over this. A response was promised. This was just as recently as December 2012, where the Section 5 Residents Association engaged the Pakatan Rakyat government and presented them the evidence. The response was, "We will get back to you," but they never did. Now, some of you may have a copy of my book, which I published. In it, you will find all the evidence you need to argue for freehold or for 999-year leasehold. These are facts. The research I've done goes so far back into the 1950s. I've gone to the National Archives, gone to the National Library. I don't need to set up a think tank or a research team. I'm here to tell you, you deserve your freehold. I'm going to move on to another issue, which is also something that my opponents are also championing, which are development rules. Now, what they have said was that we are experiencing a lot of development over congestion, but they don't get into specifics. How can you fix a problem if you don't get into specifics? Did you know that for every 1,000 persons, there must be 2 hectares of open space? That's 5 acres of open space. Open space are your parks. Did you also know that whenever you build a condominium, you must allocate a football field-sized park for the condominium? These are facts. These are government rules. Rules which I have extracted from government departments. I am not making up these rules. Now, what does the effect of these rules have? Okay, aside from the fact that it will reduce the population density, it also helps us deal with a lot of issues. The present state of Petaling Jaya, 600,000 residents, over 97.2 square kilometers. That's from PJS all the way to Kota Damansara. In that entire area, we have 7 police stations. Now, how are we supposed to handle crime? Pakatan has been approving project after project, just like PN before it. You don't know the rules. You don't know what is being proposed. But here, the rules actually say you must consult the public. I have sat down with Section 12 Residents Association to object to development projects. And in it, the councillors from Pakatan Rakyat tell the residents they cannot access the documents. They cannot have copies of it. Why? What is so difficult? Is it because if the residents get a hold of the documents, they're going to pick it apart and tell the government that they're not doing their jobs, that they're not following the rules like what I've just said? I've sat down with residents from Section 16 to oppose a development project at Video Damansara. We stopped it. I haven't been able to stop many other projects, however, because most of the time, the officers don't want to tell me what projects are being proposed, because they know I will object. And I am objecting based on rules and laws that were made by the Barisan government, which they failed to implement. We keep building and building. We don't build for the poor. All the developments that are coming up are for the medium income or the upper income groups. You don't provide for the poor, you just shove them all into low-cost flats. These low-cost flats are far away from the basic necessities that they need, like schools, public transport, and many other things. Most of the families who get shoved into these low-cost flats have 4 or 5 children. What do you expect them to do for a living? If they have 4 to 5 children, their schools are far away, they need to send their children to school, they need to go to work, they leave their kids unsupervised. Are we not creating an environment that will breed criminals? 7 police stations, slums that are being built. And for your information, MPPJ actually uses 5 million of your assessment money a year to maintain just 2 of these low-cost flats. I want to fight for change, okay, but honestly, that is just a slogan. I'm here to show you that, look, there are rules. I want to empower you with all this knowledge. I have written about all of these things consistently online. Only trouble is, most people don't read the internet. All these things are boring. I hardly get 5,000 views on my articles. But they are important to you. You cannot just let development happen rampantly. You're dealing with the effects now. Poor people who have had to resort to crime to sustain themselves, we are bearing the brunt of it. The after effects of what happened when Barisan was in power and what Pakatan Rakyat is perpetuating. If you don't believe me, you can go and ask the residents' associations I work with whether you can get access to development documents. You can't. And no one's going to tell you what your rights are. I don't want to be a politician that promises you that if you vote for me, I will do this and this and that. I'm here to tell you I have done the work. And I'm here to tell you that if you vote me in, I can ensure that our government follows the rules and the laws that we already have. We don't need to make new rules, we don't need to make new laws. We have sufficient rules to correct the problems. Now, I also want to touch a bit about the leasehold issue, about the 1,000 ringgit renewal program. Tan Sri Khalid came up with a book on this program. In it, here he says, Kanun Tanah Negara tidak memperuntukkan seksyen khusus untuk melanjutkan tempoh pajakan tanah atas hak milik. Walau bagaimanapun, amalan yang dipraktikkan adalah melalui seksyen 197 dan seksyen 76 Kanun Tanah Negara. What this means, the National Land Code doesn't have any provision to renew your leases. If you were to ask any lawyer, they will tell you it cannot be done because there is no provision. The state government, however, admits that they use one particular section of the law to renew your leases. Section 197. Those of you who actually read the law, you will find that 197 says this: I, without any unequivocally, all right, give up my rights to the land to the government. Full stop. You give your land back. That is how they do the process. They can't do it, but they do it anyway. This is a continuation of Barisan's policy. It is wrong. I have argued that it is wrong. I hope many of you have learned something. Even if you don't want to vote for me, please take my brochures, take the books that I've passed out, read it up, learn your rights. Don't let the politicians dictate to you how things are done. You want a relationship with your politician should by right be teaching you what the rules are, and you should be demanding that these rules be implemented for your own good. Thank you.